All right, so we are live. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Guneet, Balraj. I'm just gonna pin the topic for today. Today, we're talking about how to overcome nerves on camera. Welcome to everyone who's just joining in. My friends on Facebook, my friends on YouTube, my friends on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. Your gift of purpose says that the wine color is making you shine. Well, thank you. The idea is to brighten up for these live sessions. So thank you once again for joining. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join in on Facebook. We have a bunch of different viewers. And as of today, it's amazing that we are on day 2 of things officially opening up in the UAE. And whether it's restaurants, it's tourism, it's restaurants, malls, workplaces, though not at full capacity, but places have started opening up. People have started going out, and finally, it's like 2.5 months of sitting at home, and finally we go out into the normal world. Though I haven't yet stepped out, my only outing for all these days, 2.5 months, has actually been just going out for a walk within my community and coming back. So I still need to go out, and I did go for a drive though, which was quite interesting because it was like I didn't remember what normal life looked like. So I'm so happy things are gradually coming back to normal. And at least in this part of the world, with a lot of precaution, with a lot of preventive care, people are still getting out there. So I think today what we're talking about, and thank you to everyone who's joined on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Today we're talking about how to overcome nerves when you are on camera, and how do you build your camera professionality. Well, that's a word that I came up with, which is a combination of professionalism and personality. And today we're going to be looking at some few insights, some few tips, tricks, strategies that you can put into play to bring out your best self on camera. So, more than ever before, I think the lockdown or the COVID times have pushed us into a spot where if we were to market our businesses, if we had to build our personal brands, if we had to interview for a new job, if we had to lead our team, if we were just to make interaction with anybody, more than ever before, we have been resorting to video. And we all know that video has been the new norm of marketing, where it's much easier. It said, I think there was a poll conducted by Citrix, which is a market research company, that established that 93% of a message, which when communicated through video marketing, is a lot more impactful and gets registered in the mind of a user versus text. So yes, there was a time where we wrote blogs, but the percentage of people who read and retain text versus people who watch video and remember a message from a video is a stark difference. And when we talk about this, video is such a beautiful tool that you can use simply because if I am to do business with anybody, I'm looking to build a relationship. I'm looking to build a relationship that is based on trust, on knowing what I am investing in. Or, there was a popular quote which said that people don't buy goods and services, they buy stories and invest in people. People do not buy goods and services, people invest in stories and people. So that just goes out to say, and especially in our generation, where more and more people, we have so many social media influencers out there who are a perfect example of the same. And the reason they've become so popular is because they're so much more approachable, they're so much more realistic, and it's not a make-believe idea, whereas people can really see them as their authentic selves in real time and trust them, build a relationship with them, know what their lives are like, etc. And that's how human beings function. We like relationships, we like connection, we like authenticity. So it goes out to how you position yourself on video. And today, I'm so happy to be talking about this topic because for me, it's almost like, there's a treasure inside you. There's this beautiful potluck of a lot of gold coins. And just by overcoming this little nervousness or knowing how to manage this anxiety, you really can bring such a lot of gifts to the world. It could be your knowledge, it could be your skills, it could be your past experience, it could be a product. And just if you are able to unlock this overwhelm of being on camera, I believe you create a whole new world of possibilities for yourself. So I truly hope that this session serves you. And it is my, like every Saturday, where we do these sessions live at 5. Firstly, thank you for making it. I am always so motivated to come up with new topics for you guys. And I must say thank you because as a result of, you know, showing up for you guys, I research so much, I plan content, I learn and grow so much to bring you value packed content. So thank you for the opportunity and thank you for showing up. We right now have people from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube who are live with me. So thank you to all of you. And talking about how to overcome nerves when you are on camera. So, okay, before I kind of deep dive into the content, I need to remind you guys that the only way I'm going to be able to do this to the best of my capacity is if you guys like, comment, share, and engage with me. So I need you to put your questions into the comments box, put your thumbs up, send me a hi, send me a wave, so I know what you guys are thinking and I'm able to answer your questions. So just so that I know how many of you are attending these sessions for the first time, just put in new in the comments box. So for all of you who are attending the session for the first time, punch in new and send me your comment. Well, amazing. That's my new cup actually. It was gifted to me by my father, which says, follow your dreams. And it's so amazing. He brought me this cup at just the right time. Hi, Nida. Welcome. You are new. We have Saurabh on Facebook who is new. Welcome to you guys. And thank you. So I was telling you, my father got me this cup to remind me that there is this time of anxiety, of not knowing where the world is going, how things are going to shape up. But ultimately, having faith in yourself, believing in your dreams, and following them, not leaving them for anything, is a message he wanted to remind me. So he just got me this yesterday. All right, so we're talking about how to overcome nerves and anxiety when you are on camera. I just want to know so that I understand the audience. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Send me an E in the comments box. How many of you are applying for interviews? Punch in interview so that I'm able to cover a lot of different tips across these different categories because all of us, whether it is building our social media handles, whether it's giving an interview, whether it's being an entrepreneur, we're all having to resort to video. So Sandeep Sheta on Facebook sends me an E. So I have some tips coming in for entrepreneurs. So stick around, yeah? So by the end of today's session, here's why you should be here. Because you are going to walk away with quick tips, strategies, and pure science to how you can manage anxiety and manage your nerves when you are on camera. Yeah, so stick around and be with me and send me your waves, hellos, and hearts. So you know what? Most people think that being on camera is about being somebody else. It's about being perfect. It's about putting forward that perfect image or being someone else. But the truth is, being on camera more than ever before, I mean, with the social media world coming in, people are really looking out for raw, authentic connections. And more than ever before, we have the opportunity to be our authentic self. And as long as you can engage with people and build a connection with them and captivate them with what value you bring to them, there is such a lot that you can achieve with this medium. So I'm just looking into a comment on Facebook where Saurabh Dahiya says that he's playing a leadership role managing teams and virtual interactions with clients. Saurabh, how is that experience? Do you freak out when you are still having to press that video button on your chat? Or have you managed to like manage it now because you've done it a bunch of different times? Tell me about your experience. I want to know if you've gotten comfortable with the idea of being on video, or you're still trying to, manage your nerves when it comes to that. So simply, the summary is that people like people who they can trust and who they can relate to. And that is the beauty of video and of being live, whether it's Zoom, whether it's social media, whether it's whatever XYZ platform. People like people who they can trust. And we build trust basis two simple parameters. The first is professionalism, and the second is personality. I'm going to begin with personality, yeah? So these are the two P's to being absolutely kick ass on camera, which is being professional and having a strong personality. When we talk about personality, what are we talking about? It's not about, oh my God, I wore like 5 kgs of makeup today. Or it's not about, oh my God, I'm perfectly styled and, ready to go on to, I don't know, a Grazia or a Harper's Bazaar shoot. It's not about that. It's about really knowing what is that spunk that you bring to the world. It is your originality. It could be a sense of humor. It could be the way you speak. Or this is where people, really go wrong. Sometimes as soon as they come on camera, people have an accent, Suddenly it's like their English has become very out of Oxford and they are trying to actually, live their life in the Harvard campus being in a session. And it's crazy because when we put on a face or we put on a pretense, people know. People know that it's not you. So if you're trying to wear something that is not your usual self, if you are trying to speak in a way which is not your usual self, trust me, you're not going to do that with congruency, as in your words, your body language, and the content that you're putting out are not going to be in sync. And the minute you are not congruent, you become unprofessional. Yeah. So think of it like, let's say you're buying an Apple phone, yeah, and you go to one Apple store and they sell you one kind of an Apple phone. And this is an Apple, let's say, iPhone 11, and it has a particular size and shape and functionality. And you go to another Apple store, and suddenly it's another shape, another functionality, and the piece looks completely different. Are you going to feel like this is branding? No. This is a product you can trust? No. Is this congruency? No. So how do brands even become brands? It's because they are consistent and they are congruent. They are consistent in their communication, in their visual design, in their way of, packaging and treating that product, and they're congruent across different mediums. So whether you go to an Apple store, or you order an Apple iPhone online, or you are looking at something from 5 years ago, but the model may have changed and they would have upgraded it, but the essence of what it is remains the same. So these are the two ground rules when we come, we keep hearing this term, professionalism. Oh, this is not professional, this is professional. How do we know what is professional, what is not professional? It's simply because these guys, what is consistent and what is congruent is what we understand as professionalism. So once again, if you look at your Apple iPhone, just think about buying the same phone in two different locations and receiving the same phone in two completely different forms, shapes, and sizes. Then you feel like, okay, this is probably off the China market. No offense to China, but this is probably not an Apple, because with Apple, you have that certain amount of trust and expectation of consistency and congruency in their product, in whichever medium it's available. And this is the same thing that you need to keep in mind when you go live on camera, which is if you, firstly, you've got to be consistent. If you are going and doing this on social media, and if you think you're going to do this once and you're going to have like skyrocketing confidence, trust me, that does not happen. And I'm speaking from sheer experience here. Yeah, you got to do it again and again and again to get better at it. That's first. So you got to be consistent and you got to keep doing it. And the second is you got to be congruent. This is where you don't imitate somebody. This is where you don't try to, oh, you know what, I saw this person speak in this accent, so I steal this from here. Or I saw this person wear this, I steal this from here. And I am like a made up version of multiple people and multiple things. There's no issue in taking inspiration, but you got to be yourself, because that is what people really want. They want that human connection, that relationship, that trust that they can build with you. Yeah. So no false accents, no mimicking people with the way they talk, no trying to put on an act. Just be yourself. Yeah. But be your best self. And we are going to talk about how you can be your best self in just about a bit. So stick around. All right. So we spoke about the importance of being consistent and congruent to establish professionalism when you are on video. That was the first part. Now, the second part of it is, okay, tell me something. How many of you guys have filmed a video of yourself, and when you look at the video, you find like 1,000 things that are wrong with it? How many of you feel like, oh my God, this wasn't right. Oh my God, my smile looks weird. My eyes look weird. I don't sound right. How many of you have had that experience where you tend to criticize yourself when you watch your own self on video or in pictures? Come on, give me a high five. Give me a smile. Well, it's human tendency, you know. All of us, number one, is what is not familiar is always open to scrutiny. So if we are not familiar or we're not used to the idea of watching ourselves on video again and again, then it's like, oh my God, this doesn't look right. We tend to get very, very overcritical of ourselves. And that is something I would request you not to do, because it sabotages your confidence. So don't do that. All right, Sandeep, I see that it's okay. You feel like you criticize your performance when you see it on video. Trust me, it's many people with you. Okay, then. So, why do we do this? When we watch our own videos, why do we tend to over criticize, or why do we find faults with it? Is because the human eye is not used to looking at a mirrored image of themselves. And what I mean with that is, in our normal day-to-day time, we are talking to people. We are talking to X, Y, Z, but we are not talking to ourselves. And that is why looking at ourselves in the mirror, looking at ourselves in a picture, looking at ourselves on video becomes like, oh, this is me. So that mirrored version of ourselves becomes like, oh my God, we tend to find faults with it because it's not common, it's not familiar to us. So don't be surprised. It's not just you. All of us do this. All of us tend to get, critical of ourselves if we are not used to seeing ourselves in pictures or on video or even in the mirror. So it's absolutely normal. That was one thing I wanted to share with you. But when we talk about this, why do people freak out when it comes to public speaking, or it comes to being on camera, or it comes to being visible? Why do people freak out? Have you thought about it? What is your experience? Why do you freak out? For you to shoot yourself on video and put yourself up and out there, why do you freak out? Tell me. We tend to hesitate because of the fear of uncertainty, because of the fear of judgment, because of it's human tendency that we want to be liked by everybody. We are very, very conscious of our reputation. And the minute we have the risk of, our credibility or our reputation at stake, we tend to trigger our stress response. And this is called the fight or flight response. So the minute we are in a situation where we sense like, okay, my reputation or my credibility is at stake, or I cannot control the outcome, we tend to freak out and we tend to trigger the stress response, which is the fight or flight response. If we look at the science behind this, the minute we trigger our fight or flight response, the human body tends to produce stress hormones like cortisol, like adrenaline, adrenaline, yeah. So we tend to produce all these stress hormones, and these stress hormones are what give us all those physical sensations. It is what, when you're thinking of just being on camera, it is what gives you those knees shaking, your voice quivering, your heartbeat thumping. All of those physical responses come because of the stress response, because of the hormones, which is your adrenaline and your cortisol that get triggered, and they create stress and panic in you. So now the question is, how do you manage this? If you still got to go out there and do it, how do you manage this? Firstly, what I would like to tell you is you have a choice. Yeah. You can absolutely be comfortable. You can absolutely not bother to do any of this, and that's your choice. But you also need to be aware that with doing this, okay, maybe you skip one social media video, does not matter. But the question is, in which other areas of your life are you hiding? And that's a question I'd like to ask, which is, all of us tend to get nervous at least the first time when we are speaking in public or speaking to camera. It's very normal. It's very normal for the human body to feel a stress response, for us to sweat, feel anxious, feel nerves. All of that is normal. But here's where it brings a choice, which is number one, are you doing this for a larger purpose? And if you're doing this for a larger purpose, for a larger cause, and you're not putting yourself out there, the question I want to ask you is, in which other area of life are you hiding? And is hiding and being in your comfort zone serving you? So tell me what you think about that. I'm just going to glance at the comments to begin with for today. And I have Karika saying the wine color makes you shine. Thank you. Your gift of purpose. I have Guneet saying, I saw you first at the Samsung event in Taj Palace in New Delhi. Oh, wow. There must be some time back. But I love the Taj Palace in New Delhi. And I'm talking to my friends on Instagram, yeah? You Facebook fellows, tell me your comments quickly. Girish says, hey, Avneet, I have waves from Karan, Rima, Lekha, Lucky. Oi, Lucky, oi. From Rahman, from Anirudh, from Saima Habiba, from Abhilasha, from Manjot, from Sumit. Hellos to all of you guys, and thank you for your waves. Okay, Karan wants to join my live, but you cannot do that. At least not today, because I don't have my VPN on. So I'm not going to be able to take you up on my chat. Hitesh, hello to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live. Okay, and people up here on Facebook, what do you have to say? So we spoke about Saurabh being in a leadership role, figuring out how to be on camera, scaring him a little. Then we have him, he feels partially conscious in the beginning, but finds it easy once he's in the flow. So don't let me interrupt you with your flow, but just sharing my experience. Thank you, Saurabh. Okay, and Sandeep says, fear is equal to happiness like a coin head tail. I'm sorry, I don't understand that comment, but I understand there's some head or tail. Oh, okay. So fear and happiness are like head and tail. So you've got to really get out there. Cool. And Sumera on Instagram says, hello from Aisha. Hello, Aisha. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. Coolo. So for those of you who've just joined in, a quick review. Today we're talking about how to overcome nerves on camera and how you can build camera professionality, which is a combination of professionalism and personality. When we talk of professionalism, we're talking about two C's, which is consistency and congruency. Consistency, as in going out there and doing it over and over and over again to get better at it. And secondly, congruency, which is being yourself, putting your authentic self out there to help others know you, love you, trust you, and build a relationship with you. So, those were the two elements that you need to really build your camera presence. That's one. And the second part of it is we spoke about the science behind why we feel conscious. When we are on camera, why do we feel conscious? It's because we risk the fear of not being able to control the outcome. We fear the outcome of, oh my God, are people going to judge me? What do people think about me? Am I doing this right? And we have our credibility and our reputation at stake. And we human beings are hardwired to always try and put forward our perfect self. We always want to guard our perfect self. And in one way, I'm thankful to social media because, no, actually, this is like two sides of a coin. Where at one side, we have people that are like, go out there and they're absolutely raw, shooting everything live, and it's completely natural. And the second side, you have all these perfectly dolled up, Instagram structures. No more information there. But anyway, so we're talking about how can you manage your nerves on camera? Yeah. And you've got the science behind it. You've understood that being in this situation of being able to get judged or not being able to control the outcome or feeling like your reputation is at stake triggers your stress hormones, your cortisol, and your adrenaline. And how are you going to manage that? Which is some quinkle tips coming your way. That's what my body says. Okay. All right. So some of the common mistakes that people make, yeah, when they are in this stress situation, firstly, they become extremely restless. You'll see them like pacing up and down or, shaking their leg or like biting their nails, doing stuff like that, clicking a pen, playing with their hair again and again. And these simple things that they keep doing give away that they are nervous, that they are anxious. And that's something you want to steer away from if you're trying to appear confident on camera. Also, when you keep doing this, you are unconsciously communicating to yourself that, oh my God, I am so panicked. So if you really want to compose yourself and contain yourself in the moment, what you can do is two things. Number one is use the power of your breath. Your breath is the ultimate gateway into your superpower. And when I say this for a reason. Yeah. Your breath is so important because number one, it allows you to step out of that stress response into being a composed, relaxed response. And we are able to do our best only when we are in a relaxed. It's good to have that rush, but if that rush is causing you stress, that's when you are so susceptible to making mistakes. So you need that charge, you need that, excitement, but being able to manage that gap with your breath is an art. And how you can do that, three simple techniques. How many of you have been to a yoga class? Give me a yes, give me a wave. How many of you have been in a yoga class ever in your life? Punch in your comments in the comments box below. If you have been to a yoga class, there are 2 or 3 things they always make you do. Number one is when you do pranayama, which is your alternate nostril breathing. That is one simple way in which you can calm your nervous system when you are feeling thoroughly anxious. And when you say alternate nostril breathing, meaning you inhale from the right, exhale from the left, inhale from the left, exhale from the right. If you do like 15 reps of this, instantly when you are feeling extremely anxious just before going on camera, you are able to calm your sympathetic nervous system, which is synonymous with stress, with anxiety, with hyperness. So if you want to calm yourself down, use the power of your breath. A simple exercise is Anulom Vilom, which is okay. Wait. Inhale from the right, exhale from the left. And that's some simple thing you can do, alternate nostril breathing. The second is, if you've been to a yoga class, you may have realized that when you're lying down, they ask you to take your attention to a body part. So, for example, your toes, to think about it, breathe into it, and say, relax your toes, relax your calf, relax your knees, etc., for the entire different parts of your body. That's another thing that you can do to really calm your body down and take your attention away from that mind chatter at the moment, which is like causing you anxiety, and really like think of each body part, breathe into it and say relax. Sweaty palms, relax. Chest, heart thumping, relax. Belly, place your hand on your heart and your belly, breathe, relax. And you do that for every single body part till you're able to calm yourself down. So that's one. The second simplest thing you can do when you are about to get onto camera and you're feeling extremely nervous, you would have noticed that there would have been a time where your mind will be like, shit, 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 shit. Oh my God, what if I screw this up? Oh my God, where's the button? How do I go live? Oh my God, no, I'm so nervous. Oh my God, my hands are sweating. And you keep saying this mind chatter to yourself. And if you are able to control that mind chatter and use your language very, very constructively and selectively, you will be able to manage your nerves before you get on camera. Hi Gautam, hi Rahman, hi everyone who's just joined, Sushil, Hitesh, Ankur, Shaju, welcome. Yes, so where were we? We were talking about using the power of breath to calm your nerves down just before getting on camera. And secondly, we spoke about different exercises that you could do to calm your nerves, which was Anulom Vilom, yoga practice. Look it up on YouTube if you don't know. If I try and do it here, you won't be able to see me do it. So anyway, that's one. Second is mindful relaxation, which is thinking of every body part, breathing into it, and saying relax. So that was breath as one technique. Hi, Tanya. And second is using the power of language. Now, every single word that we put out there has an impact on our psychology. Yeah. And if just before getting live on camera, if you're saying to yourself, oh my God, I'm so anxious, I'm going to, and all that mind chatter is happening, you will not have enough time to compose yourself, structure your message, and communicate it with impact. So, right before you get out there on camera, rather than saying I'm nervous, say I'm excited. Rather than saying, oh my God, I'm so nervous, I'm going to mess this up, say I'm going to give it my best shot. And use constructive, affirmative, positive language with yourself to trick your mind. The human mind is such a silly structure. And there's a reason I say that, because we are the only organisms on this planet, and I mean it, organisms on this planet who can think about a situation and induce stress and panic. Even when we're not physically experiencing the issue, only by thinking about an outcome or thinking about what can go wrong, we can feel stress and panic and anxiety in our body. And isn't that super silly? So if you can do that, if you just by imagining, if you can have all this negative, anxious stimulus, again, by using your language and visualizing a positive outcome, you can also induce positive stimulus in your body to compose yourself, contain your nerves, use your breath, use your language as a medium of communicating in a composed manner. And with that, take a deep breath with me. It's as simple as that, guys. Just breathe. That's one. Cool. So where were we? Apart from that, now I'm going to step into some quick tips that you can, think of. However, I'm also going to take up Q&A in about 5 minutes from now. I have a webinar in 25 minutes, so I'm not going to be able to stay too long today. But whatever questions you have, punch it in the comments box below, yeah, and I'll take it up in the Q&A. So, what are some important factors that you need to keep in mind when you are speaking on camera? The first is strategic messaging. Yeah, if you are able to put in enough time into studying your topic, knowing the ins and outs of your topic, automatically, people spend so much time memorizing their content, and I don't understand why they do that, because the minute you memorize, firstly, it's extremely freaky for your mind when you're trying to operate from memory, and the smallest distraction can set you off. And the second is, why do you need to memorize? If you just know your context and you know the bullet points that you need to cover, you've studied your topic enough and you have a deeper context and knowledge, you don't need to memorize and you speak from flow. And another thing, this is a nugget of wisdom, okay? Nugget of wisdom, wait for it. And the nugget of wisdom is that how do we know a person is confident? How do we know when a person is speaking that the person is confident? How do you assess that? Number one is when they are in flow. That is the strongest reason how we establish whether a person is confident or not. So imagine if I'm talking but today I'm here to talk to you about how to overcome nerves. But so my first point, I'm just thinking about my first point, and if we do these 10 things and we're not in flow, it's what gives away the fact that you are not confident. So confidence comes from being in flow. And if you are able to be in flow, how will you do that? Two simple things. Number one, study your content to know the context and not memorize. And second is to use your breath to calm yourself before you go out there. Yeah, we spoke about the exercises. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Secondly, here's a trick. Yeah, if you are filming video, let's say you are doing recorded content, yeah, you need to film educational videos and you're doing this for the first time, yeah, what are you going to do? One simple trick I tell people when they are coaching with me is, firstly, standing in front of camera can be a lot more intimidating than sitting. So preferably sit and talk to the camera, because when you're standing and talking to the camera, you suddenly don't know what to do with your legs. You're freaking out with, oh my God, how do I use my hands? What do I do? Where do I look? There's no actual person. So as much as possible, sit down and talk if you're new to this. That's first. And secondly, when you're talking to camera, you don't have actual people there, right? So how are you going to do this? This is a trick. You can actually put up a picture. I've done this at some point, which is you can put up a picture of a friend or, of someone that you really like, your mother, your father, your friend, whoever, just behind the camera so that you feel like you're talking to them. And people think that you're talking to them. So you can actually put a picture just behind the camera so that it looks like you are talking to an actual person, and it calms you down, because at least you know that I know where I'm looking, and you continue to hold eye contact in that direction. And the second thing, for you to really relax and feel calm, do you guys know what are googly eyes? Like those funny Instagram eyes. There are so many of these filters. Let me show you. I'm at least on Instagram, I have it. Do you see these eyes, guys? Whoever's live, you can use these googly eyes, those funny bonker looking eyes. You can actually put up a picture of that so that it reminds you, oh my God, keep looking here, smile, lighten up, be energetic. So these are some simple, tricks that you can use when you are on camera. And trust me, whatever it takes, man, to do your best job. No one really cares. No one can see if you have googly eyes out there or if you have a picture out there. whatever it is that you need, but just make sure that you're not reading from script. This is why I always tell people not to use a teleprompter. And like, I used to host a lot of press conferences earlier, and it used to genuinely, even for me till date, when I get on stage, it is, you still get nervous. It's just that with practice, you've learned how to manage your anxiety. But I'll be honest with you, whenever it came to hosting a press conference and you had to read from a teleprompter, it used to be the most freaky experience of your life. Because number one, the speed of the guy who is regulating, the flow of words. So let's say he's scrolling up. So my vocal and reading speed has to match the guy who's scrolling the screen, and you're reading from screen. So you have no sense of voice modulation or, being able to innovate and do it in your own way. So it is such a stressful thing to do. And hence, I strongly urge you not to have a teleprompter, not to have a running screen or be reading from a board when you're speaking to camera. Just have your bullet points, have your context, study your topic, and speak in flow. Because when you are in flow, you come across as being confident and as a subject matter expert. Yeah. So no learn by heart, no memorizing, and googly eyes and breathing. These were some tips. Okay. What else? We spoke about the power of language. Another thing that you can do, you know what? When we are home, and I really use this as a very important tool for myself, which is I use the power of environment. Yeah. If you really want to calm your nerves when you are going out there on camera or you're speaking to people, set up a positive environment. Play some music that gets you upbeat. Get some motivational music, something pumping. Set up your environment in a positive way, because where you're sitting and your environment, your music, it elevates your mood. It elevates your spirit. So use the power of environment, the power of language, the power of breath to your advantage if you want to kill it when you are on camera. Yeah. All right, my boys and girls, for today, one important thing I forgot to say is we spoke about this concept of the 2 P's of killing it on camera, which was professionalism and personality. To bring out your personality, here's a simple thing you can do. That is called smile talking. And this is exactly how you smile talk. You know what? Harshi, my friend, has just joined the chat. Hi, Harshi. It's so nice to see you, my love. And we're going to smile talk. And we keep smiling and we keep talking. And we keep smiling and we keep talking. Versus, so today I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome nerves when you are on camera. And what you need to do is be mindful of your breath. And you need to use your environment. Use the power of your words. Now, how do you feel? Tell me, what is more appealing? Is that more appealing, or smile talking? When you smile and you talk, you bring out ease, you bring out flow, you bring out warmth, you bring out energy, and you're so much more relatable, so much more positive. So smile talk, yeah? So that's how you smile talk. And lastly, what you got to do is invest in your appearance, yeah? Because what you wear, how you dress, really has an impact on your body language and on your state of mind. Imagine, I've given this example earlier, and it's truly funny, man. Okay, imagine that you walk into a doctor's clinic and you need to get, let's say, a heart operation, yeah? And you need to get a cardiac surgery, and your doctor shows up with a dollar sign, with hip hop, cool ass jeans, swagging from side to side. And your doctor comes in with a pair of scissors and says, I'm going to cut you up and, do your cardiac surgery. Are you going to trust him enough? No, you're not. Is his body language going to be congruent? No, he's not. So similarly, when we dress in the right attire, number one, it has an impact on our psychology, where the way you look affects the way you feel, affects the way you communicate. That's one. And secondly, people assess you to be more professional. It's crazy. I know first impressions, that we've spoken about the science earlier. It's crazy why and how people do it, but use it to your advantage. So, just going to review all the different things that we spoke about today. I have my friends Vinod, Nida, Rehman, Tanya, Harshi, Mariam, Preeti, hellos on Instagram. And guys, you're on Facebook. Why have you guys stopped commenting? I want to listen to what you guys have to say. Send me a hello, send me a smile. All right, reviewing our session for today. We spoke about professionalism and personality being the two key pillars that you can use to kick-assly kill your impact when you're on camera. Yeah. So using professionalism and personality to your advantage, how do you do it? Number one, if you want to be professional, you got to be consistent and you got to be congruent. Consistently put yourself out there. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. With every performance, you get better. That's one. And you got to be congruent, which is being your authentic self. Putting out that spunk, that original authentic self that is, there's only one like you, man. So you got to really be yourself. Don't imitate, mimic people out there. Be your natural, original self and bring your own vibe and persona to camera or your speeches, whatever it may be. So that was how you can be professional. When it comes to personality, what are the different things you can do? Number one, dress to impress, because the way you dress affects the way you look, affects the way you feel, and the way you feel affects the way you communicate. So if you want to communicate with confidence and impact, whether in a live speech or a Zoom talk or on camera or a recorded video, if you want to kill it, number one, dress to impress. That's the simple way to do it. Secondly, we spoke about smile talking. So smile and talk, because smiling lights up your face. It makes you positive. It makes the other person relate to you more easily. So smile talking. Thirdly, eye contact. We spoke about a trick that you can do to put yourself at ease when you're on camera. That is putting up a picture of your friend or your whoever, you can talk to easily. It could be a picture of your mom, your friends, etc. Or simply googly eyes, funny eyes, which is a filter that you get on Instagram at least, which you can put up so that it reminds you to look into the camera and talk and not be drifting away here and there. And it reminds you to smile and it's funny. So use googly eyes, use a picture of your friend, family, etc. so that you hold your eye contact. And lastly, so we spoke about professionalism, we spoke about personality. Now, how do you calm those nerves? How do you step out of that stress response when you're about to go on camera? Tell me, I just told you all of this. What you're going to do is use the power of breath, and you're going to use the power of language. When you say using the power of breath, meaning some simple breath exercises like placing your hand on your heart and your belly and belly breathing, or doing anulom vilom, alternate nostril breathing, is a simple way to calm your stress response and your parasympathetic system. Or another thing you can do, if you've attended a yoga class, is think of each body part, breathe into it, and say, relax. And as you say, toes, relax, relax. And do that with every body part, calm your body down. So that's how you can use your breath to calm your nerves. And secondly, using the power of language. At that moment, if you're telling yourself, shit, I'm going to screw this up. I'm so anxious. I'm sweating. Oh my God, what are people going to think of me? You are going to mess it up. So at that time, use positive reinforcement. Tell yourself, if you're feeling anxious, tell yourself, I'm excited. If it's like, oh my God, I don't want to mess this up, I'm going to give it my best. So use positive language, use positive reinforcement, and most importantly, keep doing it. Because only when you keep doing it, you are going to get better and better. It's going to become more familiar to you. And the more familiar you become, the more practice you have, the more it becomes unconscious behavior. Yeah. So get started, my lovies. Everyone out there, you have a unique gift within you, whether it's your business idea, it's your thoughts, it's your knowledge, your experience, your message, your purpose. Go out there and communicate it to the world because you have that special gift that only you have. So get started. For today, I am quickly going to look into the questions for today. All right, my friends on Instagram. Oh my God, I completely forgot to say hello to guys on Facebook. Okay, fortunately, we don't have too many questions today, and I hope I've reviewed the session multiple times, so that's helped you. You have anything else you need to ask me, feel free to DM me. But before I take off today, for me to keep doing this, I need to know you're enjoying this. I need to know that I'm on the right path with you. So make sure to like, comment, share this with your friends, and join me every Saturday as we go live at 5. So thank you guys. To everyone who's out here on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, thank you so much for making it. Like, comment, and share this video. And next Saturday, I'll be back with some more personal and professional development content to make sure that you are out there at your best self. Yeah. Until then, keep waiting.